On an isolated stretch of road in Kingoodie, Aberdeenshire, a car suddenly veered off the road and slammed into a tree. Moments later, the vehicle burst into flames. Inside was a woman named Claire. She didn't survive. To everyone who arrived at the scene, it looked like a tragic accident, but investigators would later uncover a far darker story. The man behind this? Malcolm Webster. At first glance, Webster seemed ordinary. He worked as a nurse in Scotland, a respected profession, the kind of job that makes people trust you. But behind closed doors, he was living a double life. Webster loved spending money. Nice clothes, expensive gadgets, fancy dinners. The lifestyle looked impressive. The finances did not. Before long, he was drowning in debt, and he was hiding all of it from his wife, Claire. Then, in 1994, Claire started becoming suspicious. Something wasn't adding up. She knew her husband was keeping secrets, and Webster knew it too. Most people would come clean. Webster chose a different option, a terrifying one. He started secretly drugging his wife, over and over and over again. He would spike her tea with sleeping medication. Soon, Claire was constantly exhausted. She couldn't think clearly. She kept forgetting things, and she had no idea why. Whenever she became concerned, Webster reassured her. It's probably nothing. And because he was a nurse, she believed him. For months, he kept her trapped in a fog. But eventually, Webster realized something. One day, Claire might figure it out, and if she did, his life would be over. So he came up with a new plan. If Claire died, she could never expose him. And there was another benefit, a life insurance payout. So Webster took out a policy worth more than £200,000. Then, he prepared for murder. One night, he drugged Claire again, got her into the car, and drove out into the darkness. Then suddenly, he veered off the road. The car slammed into a tree. But the crash wasn't enough, so Webster got out, poured gasoline over the vehicle, and set it on fire. Claire didn't survive. When police arrived, Webster already had a story prepared. He claimed he had swerved to avoid a motorcyclist. The crash was an accident. The fire was just bad luck. And somehow, they believed him. Just like that, Webster walked away, a free man, and £200,000 richer. He bought expensive toys, a luxury vehicle, a yacht, new equipment. For a while, life was good. Then the money ran out, and Webster needed another source of income. 3 years later, he moved to New Zealand. There, he met a woman named Felicity. They got married, and before long, Webster was planning the same thing all over again. This time, he took out multiple life insurance policies. Together, they were worth nearly $2 million. Then came phase 2, get rid of Felicity. One day, while driving together, Webster suddenly panicked. The steering wheel isn't working. The car started swerving. It looked like they were seconds away from a deadly crash. But there was one problem. Felicity grabbed the wheel and immediately realized nothing was wrong. The steering worked perfectly. His plan had failed, and now she knew something wasn't right. Webster didn't wait around. He emptied money from their joint account and disappeared, back to Scotland. What he didn't know was that police in New Zealand had started investigating him. As they dug deeper, they discovered the suspicious death of Claire. Now investigators were looking at 2 wives, and a very dangerous pattern. Then came wife number 3. In 2004, Webster met another nurse named Simone. And once again, he created a lie. This time, he claimed he had leukemia. He shaved his head, lost weight, played the role perfectly. Simone felt sorry for him. She cared for him. And eventually, she fell in love with him. Exactly what Webster wanted. Because behind the scenes, he had already taken out a life insurance policy on her. History was about to repeat itself. But this time, investigators were ahead of him. Police discovered Webster had been faking cancer for years. They quietly approached Simone and told her everything. About Claire, about Felicity, about the insurance policies, about the lies, and about the possibility that she was next. Simone left immediately, and Webster's plan finally collapsed. After years of investigations spanning multiple countries, police had enough evidence. In 2009, they arrested him. At trial, prosecutors laid out the pattern. The drugs, the insurance money, the fake illnesses, the attempted murders, the deception. The jury found him guilty,
and Malcolm Webster was sentenced to life in prison. A man trusted to care for people, who spent years turning that trust into a weapon.